Lightning Islanders play tonight, rather. Islanders had a huge win over the weekend, and something else took place.
Just do
also.
it. Just get it over with.
Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
We're all going to get to learn about Craig today. Is Craig Carton going to take the high road? Is he going to be compassionate?
Compassion?
Or is he going to
Don't use the word douchey.
I'm not saying douchey.
Okay.
I didn't say that word.
Because sometimes people bring things upon themselves
when
they get very cocky.
How did I bring anything upon myself?
Oh, we have audio to back it up.
I have feared that moment and that day.
What are you talking about?
Months and months and months.
What moment are you referencing? I haven't brought up any specific moment.
You know what moment I'm talking about.
Which one are we talking about? Are we talking about the triple play for the Yankees?
No.
Are we talking about, can't be the Sixers choking at home?
Didn't watch a second of it proudly.
Not
a second.
Oh, I know what it is. Now I know what it is.
Yeah.
The Harlem Globetrotters that you guys put together out there in Brooklyn were unable to close out a series at home.
Yeah.
So they lost Game 7.
They did.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So you're going with the route.
We're just getting started.
All right, so you're going with the route.
We're just getting started, kid.
Of I'm a bitter Knick fan.
Bitter
Let me go take the shots at the sad and net fan, because that's all I am today.
We were planning Brooklyn parades.
No.
You said you were going to be drunk at the parade.
No. You were planning Brooklyn parades, and then 2 months later, my friends in the morning were planning Brooklyn parades. I've always had what you named Roberts-itis. And you
can't go back on that.
No. You want to know why I have Roberts-itis?
Why is that?
For nights like Saturday night.
Great game, by the way.
That's why.
Arguably the best game of the postseason.
I don't want to hear about how great of a game it was.
Great game. Overtime, woo!
Yeah.
Shot at the with 1 second left. Oh, his sneakers are just a little too long, and he's on the line. It's a 2, not a 3. By the way, the air ball was a 2 also, so that would not have won the game for you. But, you didn't score in overtime, so it really didn't matter.
Well, Bruce Brown had the one offensive rebound and put back.
Or as we said all weekend long, Joe has...
That's the only guy I'm mad at.
Wide open, 3, clank.
As I walked out of Barclays Center,
clank.
And I was sad. I wanted to cry. That's how I felt. I was like comatose walking out of that building. And it was a long walk to my car, but I finally got there.
Yeah.
The only anger I had was to Joe, because he sucked. Because he came up so small in a big spot. There was an open look in overtime. There was
would have put them up 5. Yeah.
Yes, there was. There was an open 3 that kind of bounced around the rim and went in. And you thought, well, maybe that will get Joe going. But Joe came up small. I mean, Giannis Antetokounmpo outshot Joe Harris from 3 over the final 4 games of this series.
All you need to know.
And that can't happen.
Yeah, it's funny, though, because I remember last week I was holding out dates because you had us doing shows from Phoenix and doing shows in L.A.
That was just in case. That's all it was. Craig,
I'm reserving dates. You were talking about parade and being drunk.
You were.
I have the tape. We're playing the tape all day.
You can play and doctor whatever tape you want.
Anything.
You know as well as I do. McMonagle knows well as I do. And anyone who knows me knows. Yeah. Of course I feared this. I never pictured my team winning a championship.
Excuse me,
never
sir.
for a second.
Excuse me,
I dreamt it. I hoped for it.
After the last Brooklyn Net win, you went from to here we are, Game 7 in our building, bitches. I think is what your exact phrase was. I'm meeting all the people before the game for a Maker's Mark shot.
I needed that Maker's Mark.
You asked if it was okay to be drunk during the parade.
Yes.
And right?
Yeah, but that's not me saying there would be a parade. You provoked me for months.
Yes.
You're the one who planned a parade down Flatbush.
Yeah,
and then it was ripped off by the morning show. I never said any of this was going to happen. Yeah, and this is what I feared, because when you root for certain teams in this town, no matter what your brain wants to tell you, your heart tells you something else is going to happen. And the thing that's going to haunt me Saturday night, and if the guy is listening, I mean no ill will towards you, but right after Durant hit that game-tying 2 that shook me to my core.
Shook you to your core.
Shook me to my core. I sat down. Everybody was up. I sat down. And the guy leaned over. Nice guy. I mean, nothing negative towards him. And he says, Evan, we got this.
Nice.
And I said,
positive thinking. I like it.
And I looked at him with bloodshot eyes and said, not yet, bro. Not yet. And that voice, that sound haunts me. Just like when the Yankees won the World Series in 2000, there was a woman sitting next to me who made sexual sounds after the Yankees won the World Series. Like, and that female enjoyment, which sounded similar to something else, still haunts me 21 years later.
Yeah.
So that guy telling me, oh, don't worry, we got it, that's going to haunt me probably until somebody wins a title.
Well, listen, when you go 5 minutes to only get one bucket, it's hard to win games in overtime
They
like
were
that.
gassed. They were done. That's why even after Durant hit the
I was
shot.
wondering what the excuses were going to be.
No, that's not an excuse.
Oh,
listen, I'm not making excuses.
Let me strike that down, gas, though.
I'm analyzing.
Because I wrote down a bunch of other excuses.
I have no excuses.
I thought one excuse was going to be,
what,
of course,
injuries?
Well, no, I wrote them down. We're going to blame Nike because they made Durant's sneakers too long.
Stop
That was going to be one of them.
I don't make excuses.
Yeah, but that was going to be one of them.
Well, you can go say whatever you want to say.
I thought that was one of them.
You can make up whatever
number
BS you want.
two, we were going to blame the NBA because the three-point line was too thick.
Oh, stop.
At Barclays Center.
Stop
They should have
it.
made the three-point line thinner.
Stop.
Then it would have been a three.
Stop it.
Then here's another one. The referees don't know how to count to 10.
Well, listen.
Okay.
You want me to get into that?
I was ready for that one.
The Barclays Center crowd is chanting the number, and they never call it. Now, I'm not bitching about it. I'm stating a fact. And the fact is, for whatever reason, they don't call that on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yes.
I can't explain why, but they never call it. So that is not an excuse. That's a fact. What else you got on your little stupid sheet? What else you got?
It's not stupid.
What else you got?
Why is it stupid?
Because you wrote it.
Because the team that was put together solely to win a championship, forget about win a championship, didn't get to the NBA Finals. They didn't even get to the Eastern Finals. I mean,
you're
really
begging me to bring up the injuries, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Because
if you're on the court, you're playing.
No,
Sorry.
I agree. Look, injuries are
Don't
a part
play
of the game.
48 minutes if you're hurt. What let me tell
Who
you?
are you talking about, James Harden?
Yeah.
I respect the fact that James Harden is out there for 52
but you can't
minutes.
have it both ways. You can't say, well, he's hurt. If he's hurt, don't go on the court. We all respect the toughness.
Listen, Craig. You can separate these two things, all right? It's no excuse. Everybody's had injuries in the NBA. Look at the Clippers. They've overcome it so far.
Wait, hold on.
The Lakers didn't. The Nets
Pardon
didn't.
me just for 1 second. I apologize.
What?
The Clippers lost Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
Are they in the Western Finals?
They are. I just said they overcame
I'm
it.
just checking this.
They overcame it.
They are.
Yeah.
Yes. Guys, can you write that down?
Yeah.
The Clippers lost their best player.
And Paul George got better somehow.
They're in the Western Finals.
Yes.
I'm just putting I want to make sure I have that.
All I'm saying is injuries are a part of the game. That's statement one. Statement two is injuries and Joe Harris sucking did them in.
Now you're talking.
That's why they lost.
Well, listen, we're going to have some fun with Evan.
No, I don't want to have fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to have fun.
We're having fun.
I don't want to have
That's
fun.
what we do here.
You know what? No one cares about the Nets. Let's go back to that world, okay? Let's go back to the world where no one cares anymore.
Well, listen, no one does care. I heard the radio station say it's like the game never even happened.
Good, I like it.
That being said, I care because you're my partner.
Oh, thanks.
And I think the audience, listen, we did something that other shows really didn't do here.
What?
And we were involved in the net run because of your fandom.
Ugh.
So throughout the day today,
I hate being a fan.
I believe that it's only right for us to deliver to the audience.
Deliver what
they expect post-mortem.
What?
Durant's got it.
I don't
Down
do this.
2. 6 seconds to go to overtime.
Oh,
Durant
God, the air
turns.
ball.
Long 2.
No, he's going to make it.
Airballed it.
Oh, he didn't.
I
swore I thought he was going to make
Drew
it.
Holiday was all over him.
Yeah, I thought he was
It'll be
going to make it, but I watched it. It came up just short, Evan.
As soon as it
2-point
left
lead.
his hands that moment, as soon as it left his hands, my head went into my hands, and it was just this
Did you cry?
stinging.
Did you cry?
There was one moment where there was tears. And you know when that moment was?
No.
When Durant tied the game.
When he tied it.
I was so
You
shook.
welled up.
I was shook.
Yeah.
I couldn't sit still for 35. And I got to tell you, I can't say this enough. I hate being a sports fan. I really do.
Boy, that game was what sports is all about.
No, it's not.
The odds,
it's why
back and forth. No one had a lead bigger than 5, I don't think, in the entire game.
It's why
overtime.
I
edge of your seat stuff. And then, of course, the heartbreak at the end.
Yeah.
But everything leading up to that is why sports is so great.
Everything that leads up to it now will haunt me. And for anyone who's not a Net fan, if you're a Met fan, Andy Chavez, it should haunt you. What are you doing?
I'm going to give you a hug.
Oh, thanks.
I'm going to give you a big, fat hug. What's that, an email from the Nets for season tickets for next year already? Listen,
that wasn't a heartfelt hug. If you want to give me a real hug, give me a real hug.
We've talked a lot on this show about what's better, a blowout or a close game.
Yeah.
And listen, being on the losing side of either one sucks. But that game was everything great about sports.
It's a killer, dude.
Not knowing the ending.
Yeah, but Craig,
it was great.
Moments from that game.
I loved it as a Knicks fan.
Okay, good for you. Good for everybody else. But if you're a diehard fan, there are moments from that game that will haunt you, that will stick in your brain forever. Sure. I've got games from 20 years ago I feel that way about, and that's a game that's going to stick with me.
And it could be something little. It could be a free throw in the first quarter. It could be an errant pass in the second quarter. That at the time, not that big a deal.
I'll give you one. They should have had a bigger lead. They should have been up by more than 6 at the half.
Yeah,
and that killed me. And I even tweeted that, and that scared me going into the second half of this game.
I thought it was everything right with sports, everything good about sports, everything pure about sports. That game is why we love sports so much, because of the odds. Because of the up and down, the emotional roller coaster of it. And as Knicks fans, I just want to say thank you to the Nets for giving us a great night of entertainment. We've been long out of it, but the Nets did us a solid. The Nets played a memorable, amazing, entertaining, emotional overtime postseason classic. And on behalf of all Knicks fans, I just want to thank you.
You're not welcome.
I want to thank you.
We're not here to entertain you.
I want to thank you
We're not here to be your huckleberry, as you'd say. We're not here for you.
And I'll tell you something else.
What else you got?
The arrogance and cockiness.
There was no arrogance.
Of the Brooklyn Net
of who?
Family.
Of who?
Whether that's the players, the fans, the organization, wherever it is.
Stop it.
That arrogance, that cockiness.
Dude, you are pretending.
You're 0 for 1, and it may come to an end after 2 because there's no contracts after 2.
And not just you guys, but you are pretending as if there was an arrogance. We didn't have an arrogance. Okay, because anybody who's a diehard fan of this franchise, just like anyone who's a diehard fan of the Knicks or the Mets or the Jets, in the back of your mind, you never think it's really going to happen. So I didn't have any arrogance, nor did Net fans have arrogance. Now, and if you want to continue pretending that
make
you feel
you
better
guys were
when
arrogant.
We were never
You were
arrogant.
demeaning. You were putting us down.
When?
You were douchey. The whole run,
listen,
Evan.
man.
The entire run. Oh,
No.
You know, all the little shots. Listen, all the little shots that you guys took over the course, especially of the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They came back to roost.
Oh, you know what then?
And we're going to let you remember
know what
it.
then? If
maybe next year. Maybe you go out there, you'll trade for Kawhi. Or maybe you'll, who knows, you're going to trade for next year. But it didn't work this year. Sorry. You know, the Mets are pitching Jacob deGrom in the first of 2 today, and that's got a lot of people up in arms, Evan. So we'll get into that as well today.
I'll remember everything you and anyone else say.
Yeah.
Now, I want to make something clear.
Yeah.
Over the last 36 hours, whether it was DMs or tweets, most people are good people. They're not douches like you.
What did I say to you that makes me douchey?
Most people have come out and said, listen, I may not like the Nets, but I feel for you and other diehard fans.
I don't feel for you.
Exactly. That's my point.
Right.
And
Why would
appreciate it.
Because when you guys had this rare opportunity when you are clearly better than the Knicks, and rather than handle it with the plum and grace and class, you guys were demeaning.
Why were we demeaning?
And took your shots in my franchise.
How were we demeaning?
While I love you personally, and I wished you a happy Father's Day yesterday.
Thank you. Give me an example.
That text wasn't coming my direction, I know, all day. So I thought I was being a good guy. And I know my kids reached out to you to see how you were doing.
Yeah, Sonny was very nice, and I appreciate that.
But the reality is this.
Give me an example.
As a Knicks fan.
Give me an example.
I don't feel bad for you.
That's fine. Now give me an example.
As a human, I don't feel bad for you.
Now give me an example where we're arrogant or douchey. Go ahead.
Every little comment you made.
Like what?
All the little digs.
What? Digs at the Knicks?
All the little digs at the Knicks.
Digs are okay.
Yeah.
I would never celebrate your misery. Nor did I when the Knicks embarrassingly lost in 5.
Fist pump.
I didn't celebrate.
Fist pump game 1?
I tried to hold that in.
In the building, fist pump game 1?
I tried to hold that in.
Yeah, well, you didn't.
I didn't mean to.
Evan, you fist pumped the Knicks loss in game 1 to the Hawks.
So this is all about the fact I fist pumped in game 1.
That's just a part of it.
Okay.
I listen to the show because I'm on the show.
Yeah.
Every word, every minute spoken, nothing gets past me. So all good. Now I have a treat for you. The guy at the game last Saturday that said to you, "We got this."
Yeah.
I got him on the line.
Oh, good. I want to talk to him.
Well, we're going to take a break first anyway. We're going to take a break. Then we're going to let Evan hear from the guy that
Because we
mushed.
don't got this, by the way.
Yeah.
We didn't have this.
Yes.
And even though that moment, as that ball left his hands and swished through, was euphoric, it was orgasmic, it was incredible.
Yeah.
The thing I knew in the back of my mind was Andy Chavez, was this could end badly. This could be a moment, yes, that we live in love forever and ever, but it also could be one of those footnotes that goes into the dustpan of history because we didn't win anything.
That's right.
And unfortunately, they got one more basket the rest of the way, and it was a lucky Bruce Brown putback.
That's right.
He should have known better.
Well, listen, we'll get into that throughout the day. Of course, the Mets do have a doubleheader later today, and DeGrom is pitching tonight, which I know a lot of you have a real problem with. And the Yankees, somehow, some way, took 2 out of 3 from the A's. It wasn't pretty. The offense sucks, which is why I told you going into the weekend, I just don't know, and I still don't know. But they won, and that's all that matters. 877-337-6666.